that, but even if that was true, some black people owned slaves. That doesn't change like the general narrative and the general situation, right?
Name them. Who are the black people who own slaves?
Over 3,000 of them. I can give you the names. Hold on.
Give me some of the names.
Okay.
Give me some of the names of these black people who owned these slaves, the 3,000 black people.
I'll give it to you. Hold on. So Antoine Duplet, William Ellison, these were some of the people that owned slaves, not to mention Anthony Johnson. So the first, this is actually interesting. You mentioned Angola. This is really interesting. The first slave owner in America was technically a black person from Angola named Anthony Johnson. He came here into the 1600s. And in the 1600s, there wasn't necessarily slavery. There was indentured servitude. So you would work only for like a certain period of time, then you gain your freedom. Anthony Johnson was able to gain freedom, and then he made one of his black, indentured servants for life because they tried to escape, and he became the first slave owner in America. He was a black man.
That's not true.
Yeah, Anthony Johnson. Look up a story.
So that's been debunked.
I'm telling you, it's real history. We have the documents.
Okay. The first slave owner, technically, was Hugh Gwynn. All right. His slave was John Punch. That was before Anthony Johnson. Google what I just said.
So I just Googled it. So if you want me to read AI overview, I can. I mean, I can show you my screen. Hold on.
Google what I just said. It was Hugh Gwynn. And it was
I just Googled it. So it says here, yes, Anthony Johnson is widely considered to be one of the first, if not the first, black slave owners in the British American colonies. A black man who came as an enslaved servant in 1621, gained freedom, became a prosperous landowner, and in 1655 successfully sued for a black indentured servant, like I told you earlier, John Kaser, to become his slave for life. So maybe he wasn't the first, but he was at least one of the first.
Right. Okay.
Unless you can find me one prior to 1621.
Yeah. Hugh Gwynn, sir.
Hugh what?
Hugh Gwynn. He's a white man. Gwyn. Hugh Gwynn.
Okay.
He was before Anthony Johnson. People have been telling that Anthony Johnson lie for the longest. Hugh Gwynn was the first one. He had a slave named John Punch that was enslaved for life.
Hold on. Actually wrong. So let me show you. Yeah, I'm Hugh Goyen. You have it right here. In his case, with an African servant named John Punch in 1640 is a landmark in American slavery. This was 1640. What I read to you earlier here says 1621 is when this man had the indentured servant specifically.
Who?
Anthony Johnson. So he was the first slave owner. He came before Hugh Goyen. It's a fact. People don't know history, man. It's a fact. It's actually a rare fact that the first black man to have slaves in America was black.
No,
from Angola too.
Hugh Gwynn got here in 1621. He didn't have no slave in 1621.
No, that's not what I said.
What did you? Okay, you're bringing this.
So the landmark case.
Okay, no. Well, you just said 1621, sir. You just said 1621.
He
got here in 1621.
That's Johnson. No, that's Johnson.
That's what I'm saying. Johnson did not have any slaves in 1621.
He did.
Just got here. No, he didn't.
No, so you're not understanding, sir. So
I'm understanding.
No, you're not.
Sir.
So he had an indentured servant in 1621.
No, he didn't.
He did.
John Castor. That case was 1653, sir. That case was in 1653.
I'm saying he already had it in the indentured servant that you're talking about. He already had him before Hugh Goyen had him.
How?
What do you mean? How?
Anthony Johnson was an indentured servant, sir.
Yes, but did he gain freedom?
Yeah, he didn't get no freedom in 1621 because he just got here.
I'm not talking about just getting here. Did he gain freedom and own slaves as a black man?
Yeah. Later on, he had some indentured servants.
Okay, great. He successfully sued for a black indentured servant, John Kaser, to become his slave for life.
In 1653.
Again, remember, your original argument...
No, because you're moving the envelope and you're moving the goalpost,
Nope.
sir. Yeah. And this proves my point that Hugh Gwynn had the first slave for life before John Castor was enslaved. Sir, you're proving my point.
That's
You
not.
keep,
You're just wrong.
you keep lying about the dates to try to crowbar your
Nope.
point to
You
me,
said
sir.
that you asked me a very simple question. You asked me
You
who was the
said,
black.
no, we hear you, sir. What you're doing? No, because what you're
Oh,
doing
you're
is a
interrupting
lot
me
of
now
double. You're
because you're
doing
wrong.
double talk.
You were
How am
debunked.
I wrong?
Okay, again, you asked me a very simple question. Your original question was, what was the name of the black person who owned slaves? I gave you the name. Listen, if you want to argue,
Okay, in regards to Anthony Johnson, this is why we say this is a white supremacist talking point that Tethers borrow. I don't know how that's possible that Anthony Johnson can get here in 61 as an indentured servant and then own an indentured servant. Tariq effectively pointed that out. That's a contradiction, and old boy tried to deflect. Anthony Johnson arrived in Virginia around 1621 as an enslaved indentured African. Okay, he gained freedom after a term of service. So by the 1650s, he owned land and had at least one African servant, John Castor. So in 1655, he won a court case making Castor a servant for life. One of the early clear legal moves towards lifetime racial slavery in English Virginia. Tariq pointed out John Punch and Hugh Gwynn. That is 1640. That's 15 years before 1655, the court case, and that's 10 years before 1650s, where Johnson owned at least one person. Anyway, John Punch and Hugh Gwynn in 1640. John Punch, a servant belonging to Hugh Gwynn, attempted to escape. All right, this was an African servant. The Virginia court sentenced Punch to lifelong servitude, with his white co-escapees received only extended terms. This is often cited as the earliest documented case of lifetime servitude for an African in English Virginia. So Tariq was right.
Oh, no, sir. He
Yep.
was from your homeland. No.
that's where you're from.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Yes, you
You're from
are.
there. I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yes.
No, I'm not.
Don't
I'm
do it to
not.
yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm not a continental African, sir. I'm not you.
I don't know why you keep using that term because
You're a continental African. I'm not, sir.
right. So be more specific. I don't know why you're even using the term continental African because there's North Africans, there's East Africans, there's West Africans, there's many Africans.
Somebody who had to fill out paperwork to come here.
You had to fill out paperwork in order to become a citizen. Yes.
No, I didn't.
It's simple.
No, I didn't. No. Foundation on Black Americans, we never cut a deal with the white supremacists here. We've never cut a deal with them. Y'all had to cut deals with them.
Quick question.
Sir.
Sure. Let me ask you a quick question.
No.
Oh.
We've never had to cut deals with them. And by the way, hold on one second. Family, is my mic good? Somebody said my mic is low.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay, got it. Somebody was texting me saying my mic is low. But yeah, we never cut a deal. Now, Angola, y'all cut deals with the Portuguese. Y'all cut deals with a whole bunch of people. Those tribes cut all types of deals. We never cut a paperwork deal to legitimize.
Let me ask you a question then. What was the American Colonization Society?
That was a whole bunch of white supremacists and a couple of their Sambos sending a handful of people over there to Liberia.
In what year?
Most of us didn't go. Who gives a shit? Most of us didn't go over there.
That's not the question. You said you never cut a deal with the white supremacists. You did. In 1826, you did.
No, we didn't.
You did. So let me finish.
No.
See?
Oh, how? No, see, nothing. We didn't cut no deal.
I'll tell you how.
No. Most of us.
Why are you freaking out? I'll tell you how.
No. You're not gonna lie. Most of us.
Finish, brother.
No, you're not. Let me put this shit in the right context before you start lying. Most foundational Black Americans were not with the American.
I didn't say most. I never said most. I never mentioned.
You cut a deal. No, we didn't.
Hold on. Let me finish. Thank you.
No, we didn't cut no
brother,
damn
let me
deal.
finish, man. Why are you getting so? Why are you?
No, you ain't going.
Why are you panicking? Just let me finish. Why are you panicking?
No. I'm not panicking. We didn't cut no.
Okay,
deal.
but let me finish.
Most of us were against going over there to
I didn't
Africa.
say most. You said you never cut a deal. Let me finish.
We
So
never did.
in
We never did.
1826, let me
Never did.
finish, brother. Okay, let me
Uh-huh.
finish. Okay, if I'm wrong, just debunk me after I'm done. Let's have a
Yeah, I
cordial
just debunked you
conversation.
already. So your lying is mute. Whatever lie you
It's
about
not.
to
So
tell
it's not a lie. It's objective reality. But just let me finish.
No, it's moot. It's moot.
Okay,
because,
just let me finish. So in 1826, a bunch of foundational black Americans went to the American Colonization Society that was headed by James Monroe and James Madison. And they asked for resources to go back to Africa and have a colony there. James Monroe and James Madison gave them the resources to go back to Africa, and they did. You guys were the original fleeing tethers, not to mention, yup. You guys were the original fleeing tethers. The original ones.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
What's the capital of Liberia?
Yeah, most of us didn't.
Monrovia, because of James Monroe.
Yeah, most of us weren't with it. So yeah, you just lying. It's just you being a lying.
You're a fleeing.
Yeah, you're a fleeing lying.
You're the original.
Harriet Tubman wasn't with it. No. That's you trying to make us like you. We weren't with no, we didn't. That's why we're still here. We didn't go. We didn't. Most of us didn't go. Only yes, I'm muting you.
Plead.
You have to lie. No, we didn't. That's why we plead. Then why are so many of us here?
Right, because not every single one. Not every single one fleed, but you still fleed.
Why do we have damn near 45 million people?
Sure, really quickly.
Right? No. You're trying to make us like you.
I'll explain. Really.
No. Yeah, a handful
Panicking,
of
man.
Who panicking? I'm cool as a cucumber. You're the one having to lie. You're lying and projecting. You're lying and projecting your Angola fleeing mindset, sir. You're a failed tether.
So black leaders had complex and often opposing views on cooperation with the American Colonization Society, ACS, which was founded in 1816. Like, we can talk about Paul Cuff, which I talk about a lot on my channel. He initially supported immigration. I'm saying immigration with the E, not the IMM, okay? But he initially supported immigration, okay? Most prominent black figures in 1817, including James Forten, who else? Bishop Richard Allen, right? And Absalom Jones, right? They strongly rejected the ACS's plan to resettle free blacks in Africa. They weren't hearing that. No fleeing for them. They viewed it as a pro-slavery effort to remove them from America. Though some later, like Henry McNeill Turner, about like the 1870s, he briefly advocated immigration due to deteriorating conditions, okay? But the general consensus remained against colonization, aka fleeing, Matt. But yeah, nearly 3,000 Foundation Black Americans met with Philadelphia to denounce the ACS's proposal. So, where Matt got that number from 3,000, because 3,000 denounced it. Again, Forten, Allen, and Jones, who initially, seemed supportive. What happened? They seen the finesse, right? They seen the trick bag, and they ultimately described the meeting as a resounding rejection. So 3,000 men met with the ACS, not fled. All right, dudes be killing me with the reading. And they said this is a quote. They said, not one soul was in favor of going to Africa. That's a quote when they met in Philadelphia with the ACS. Okay, so why? That's because black leaders saw the ACS as a white-led, which they were, organization supported by slaveholders, white supremacy. Come on, man. You can't trick us with that. This is interesting. Okay, so we seen them as a white-led organization supported by slaveholders. So we like, nah, I'm good. But Marcus Garvey, when he met with the Klan, he thought that was okay. Not like us, right? We felt like they were aiming to remove us from America rather than genuinely uplift us. And they wanted to build lives in the U.S., okay, the USA, America. Now, later, as Reconstruction failed, right, due to decline in systemic racism and Jim Crow laws rose, some black leaders, notably who? Reverend Henry McNeil Turner, right? He revived interest in immigration to Liberia. And this is what that tether was talking about. I wasn't aware of this. The revived, of the ACS. Okay. Anyway, he tried to revive interest in immigration to Liberia. And why? That's important because he's seen it as the only escape from severe oppression. Okay, so yeah, the pressure got to him. He was thinking of fleeing. Okay, but this was more of a desperate strategy. This wasn't like ideal. This wasn't the A plan, the go-to plan. This was desperate. A desperate, let's say, strategic shift. This was not a unified endorsement, all right. And the ACS, right? They did send thousands to Liberia. Some say around 12,000. But the majority of Foundation Black Americans still rejected the idea of leaving the U.S. So when Garvey came with his crap, we're like, yo, what are you doing, bro? We already been there and done that. So Paul Cuff, early 1800s, was a wealthy black businessman and abolitionist. Okay, he sponsored voyages to Sierra Leone. He used to create ships. He was very wealthy, free black man. I think he was born free. But yeah, man, he sponsored voyages to Sierra Leone. He didn't work with the ACS, but he laid the groundwork for the ACS. Okay. The ACS was like, oh, yeah, we know that's a good idea. Let's get some of these FBAs over there to Liberia, out of Africa. This is the real out of Africa theory. You did? Y'all talk about out of Africa. This is the real out of Africa theory. Okay. Let's start with the transatlantic slave trade. Okay, but in essence, in all seriousness, black cooperation with the ACS was minimal and deeply contentious. Okay, while some individuals, a handful, saw temporary benefit in immigration, the organized black community overwhelmingly opposed the ACS goals, and that was Tariq Nasheed's major point. They preferred to fight for civil rights within the U.S., and you'll hear me in many dialogues with tethers and Pan-African booty scratchers. I always say these same folks who y'all say were the first Pan-Africanists. Interesting, because when they left America, they came back when they knew they could fight for their citizenship via civil war, and all of them died proud Americans. So Matt is either providing these arguments for tethers and Pan-Africans, or the tethers and Pan-African booty scratchers lies are reaching main society, dominant society, and people like Matt is taking them hook, line, and sinker. But doesn't matter, Matt or Ubuntu, anybody can get it.